can't hear out of my ears.
Do we have
Bishop? Bishop, should I be able to hear out my ears?
Can't hear nothing.
Yep.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Nicole.
Yes.
And
Can't
we got some victories. Congratulations
just
to
go ahead
the
and I'll
women.
take care of that.
Congratulations to women of all over.
Okay. For now. Welcome to In the Heart of It All with Monica C. Guidry. It has been a while, and I have missed you guys in Columbus and everybody that's on social media that's watching in right now. Thank you for tuning in. It is a great day to be alive. Do you know why? I'm going to give you a second to think about it. You know how it is, what we do. Think about why it's a great day to be alive. Because you have purpose in the earth. If you woke up and you have breath in your body, that means you have purpose. And one of the things that you're purposed to do is to encourage someone, to smile at a stranger or passerby, and uplift someone out of a place that they may be in that needs your voice of encouragement to keep them going. So with me in the studio, I have my man, Joe Nathan.
Hey.
That's going to be bringing the now topic. So before we get into the show, the interviewing portion, we're going to talk to Joe Nathan. He's going to tell us what's happening in the now.
Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day. The now topics, we're going to start off with voting. I hope that everyone voted and let your voice be heard. It's a good thing. If you did go out and vote, it's very important. Congratulations to all of the winners, especially the women that won. Congratulations to all of them. I stand for equality, I stand for variety, and I stand for unity. And so it was good to see that. I actually overheard someone saying, well, I'm not very political, so I don't vote. And so I said, say if we were on a team and it was 14 of us. And only 13 people voted, and your one vote will make that change. Because if you don't vote, that means that we will be stuck. So we need everybody to vote to see that change. And yesterday we saw a change, and so it was good to see that. I mean, people wasn't even playing with us. Google wasn't even playing with us. You go on Google, and Google said, it didn't even say welcome to Google. You know how I say Google and different. It said go vote.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, Google said go vote. Google said, don't look up nothing right now. Go vote and then come back. That's what Google said. So it was good that people went out and voted. And if we keep that same tenacity, we'll see a change in 2020.
Wow.
Yes. Then we have some artist spotlights. Congratulations to Bishop Roger Harrison and the Voices of Deliverance of Temple of Faith, Church of God in Christ. They came out with their third album on this past Sunday, and it's called Look Where He Brought Me From. It's all over social any media outlets where you can purchase music from. It's called Look Where He's Brought Me From.
And who is that?
This is Bishop Roger Harrison Sr. and the Voices of Deliverance.
Nice.
Also, congratulations to TJ Dooley and Testimony. They're coming out with their third album, and their release concert is at the Cathedral of the Covenant Church, 1712 Courtright Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43227.
And this is a concert?
Yes, this is a concert featuring Dr. Kevin Bond and some amazing people. This is them celebrating their third album. So we are very excited about that.
3.
Also, congratulations to Ursula Butts. She's also having a release concert November 18th at New Birth Christian Center, 3475 Refugee Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43232, featuring Greg Watkins and the Worship and Praise Chorale and Robert Fleming. I don't know if I said the date for Terrence Dooley.
Say it.
Okay, so the date for Terrence Dooley is November 17th at 6 p.m. And the date for Ursula Butts, once again, is November 18th at 5 p.m. I will be at those two events, so make sure you guys come out and say hey.
Nice. So now you sing in a few of those, right?
I do sing in Greg Watkins and the Worship and Praise Chorale, and I do sing in TJ and Testimony. I am a part of Testimony, so this is actually our release concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't just pass that over. Like that's something that's pretty important, and you have an amazing voice. I see
Thank
that
you. I do appreciate that.
I see that there are other artists that's going to be at that concert.
Yes. We have Dr. Kevin Bond. We have Joshua Purcell and Courageous, if I'm saying that correctly, and that is from Louisville, Kentucky. And we have Aaron Hampton from Columbus, Ohio
I know
as
Aaron's
well.
mama, Nikki Hampton.
Yes, so they will be out to celebrate with us, so I'm very excited about that.
That's cool. You know what I love about Columbus, Ohio? I love all of the artists. We are so full of artists of every kind, visually and performing arts.
Absolutely.
There's so many. So if you're out there and you're an artist of any capacity, reach out to us or Joe Nathan. He's the one that will contact you all so that we can feature you, because we here at In the Heart of It All with Monica C. Guidry are all about also featuring local artists. We want to make sure that we're platforming you. Although this show is nationwide, we want to make sure that we are platforming people that are right here in our city. So, yeah.
And you can reach me at any social media outlets. Instagram is Love Will Save the Day and Love Will Save the Day 2. Facebook is Joe Nathan Banks, and my email is jonathan61@gmail.com. So if you are an artist in any capacity, please email me and let me know so we can get you featured.
Yes. Well, thank you for the now topic.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. I think voting is extremely important, regardless of what your party line is.
Yes.
I'm not one to tell anybody who they need to vote for and all of that stuff. I became an informed voter, I would say, the second year after I was even able to vote. So I don't necessarily vote along party lines, per se. It's researching the candidates, researching the issues, and making an informed decision based off of that. So if you were able to go out and vote, kudos to you. You are a part of solution.
Just as long as your voice is heard.
Amen.
As long as your voice is heard, that's what matters.
So thank you again, Joe Nathan, for those now topics and those shout outs.
Yes.
Before we get into the interviewing portion of the show, just want to shout out a couple of people, or actually one of the people who enable me to be able to do this. This show is powered by Blev 614, and I also want to shout out Blev Wellness Center, which is located at 1335 Dublin Road. Their phone number is 614-437-9910. They are a Christian clinical counseling facility and traditional clinical counseling facility. They take care of anything ranging between post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, eating disorders, so on and so forth. So if it's something that you are interested in, finally getting to the bottom of whatever it is that you're facing mentally, contact them. Blev Wellness Center at 1335 Dublin Road, Columbus, Ohio 43215. Phone number is 614-437-9910.
Awesome.
All right. Let's do it.
Well, I am so excited that I get to interview you. Oh my gosh. So you have literally been across the world.
Yep. I mean, I have.
And I'm so excited. So let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
Tell me, how was your experience?
So that's kind of a loaded question, because there's so much to it. So how my experience was, I'm actually finally I was able to process it, because it was, first of all, my first time out of the country. I have never been out of the country before, ever. So this was my first time flying on a plane for as long as I was on a plane.
So let's back up. How was that? How was that?
That is hilarious.
Because my first flight, I remember taking it. It was awful. Like, it was
okay.
dreadful. So how was that?
So the flight was long, first of all. It was extremely long. We flew into Atlanta. That flight was only maybe an hour and a half, so it wasn't long. And then we had like a 4-hour layover at the airport. And while we were there, people that were headed to Johannesburg were also in that
Awesome.
That waiting area. And when we got on the plane ride was like, it was over, I want to say like 17 hours. It was a long time. And people don't like turbulence, but I have to say that the turbulence was a welcome for me, because it was like, oh, I'm still here. Because like you fall asleep and then you wake up, and then you fall asleep and you wake up. So you just want to know when you wake up, like, you're existing.
Yeah, like am I okay? Or like, what's going on?
Oh, okay, there's some turbulence.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Everybody's I'm good. So yeah, so the plane ride was a good, smooth plane ride, and I watched about 2 movies. slept and woke up and had about 10,000 bathroom breaks because everybody knows now I'm pregnant. So
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So it was an experience, the plane ride for sure.
Oh wow,
It's long, guys. It's long. It's a long ride.
So, I know that you was in South Africa, correct?
Yes.
So, what part were you in?
So I was in Johannesburg. So we flew into Johannesburg, and then we went to a place called Witbank. And so, as you guys know, Africa is the continent, and I was in the country of South Africa, and Johannesburg is where a province that we were in Witbank, and I was able to visit like 5 other provinces while I was there, and I have to tell you, it was beautiful. So the first night that we got there, the sun was setting. I didn't get to see the actual sun set, but you could see the sky, and the sky was like this beautiful burnt orange, and there was nothing, there were no buildings or anything in the way, so all you could see on the landscape was like these beautiful plain, and the open sky. There was nothing blocking the sky, and it was like the sky was so wide and vast, and like the clouds were like this beautiful baby blue, but then there were highlights of this burnt orange that looked like like a forest fire from a distance on fire. It was just amazing. The sky was.
That is beautiful, and it sounds so.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I just trip. Okay, so tell me, what were you there for?
Okay, so I tell people that it was a ministry trip, not necessarily a missions trip. It was a ministry trip. My pastor, Pastor Lynn, who was also my friend, she's the one that invited me to go. And when I said yes as a friend, and as a loyal friend, and I don't want you to go by yourself. I said yes, but then my spirit said yes.
Wow.
And so it was a ministry trip. So it was a women's conference, and it was called Ignite. But while we were there, we were also able to do outreach.
Yes.
So there was a night of outreach where they actually brought people in from, I'm going to call it the ghetto parts of Witbank, which is where we were. I'm sure they call it some other places in other places of the world. They call it slums, but you get the point. It's they're lower income people, and they brought them in, and we literally just pampered them. We were able to wash their feet. We were able to massage their back. We were able to speak life into them and pray over them and ask them questions about what they were going through. And there were some people there that just didn't even feel worthy of that. And also that same day, I was able to do a workshop. So I actually taught a workshop, and I didn't find out that I was teaching a workshop until probably a day or two before I was leaving for the trip. So the workshop that I taught on was called Igniting Your Gifts and Abilities, Extracting Your Purpose from Your Story. And so I was able to get up and kind of share a little bit about what I was going to be talking about at the workshop. And so I got up to my classroom, and people just started pouring in. So the classroom probably could seat maybe 20 people in there. But when I tell you there was no room to sit or stand or do anything, you couldn't even sit on the floor. It was packed. So they had to move me down to the sanctuary so that I could teach this workshop. And what that told me was, it doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, people want to know what their purpose to do. Yeah. And I was able to facilitate that. And so that to me, oh my gosh, that to me was powerful. Like, I didn't take that lightly at all. Like, I am entrusted with these people's lives and their stories. So yeah.
It sounds like such a humbling experience.
Humbling is a really good word for it.
Yeah, it sounds like as you were saying, that you were able to wash their backs and wash their feet. What an amazing experience that is. I remember growing up, and when we would have communion, one thing that we would do is wash feet, and that's just truly amazing.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
pretty powerful.
it says something, and so humbling is the word, and how you were saying that through your pain there's purpose, and you explained. So did you share some of your testimony with
I did.
them.
I shared a little bit of my testimony in the beginning, and then I went around the room and I had people, I passed the mic to different people, and I asked them, the very first thing that I asked them to do was to raise their hand if they knew they had a purpose.
Yeah.
Almost everybody in the room raised their hand because they knew they had purpose. And then I asked, how many of you in here know what your purpose is? And probably 2 or 3 people raised their hand.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, half of the class had their hand up with them knowing what their purpose was. Because what I did was I went around the room and I asked people to share their stories. And there were so many people in that room that had some of the same stories. Some people, there was molestation and abuse and different things like that, and women thinking that their life wasn't meaningful at all because of what they went through. And what I said was, is there anybody else in the room that has gone through that? You don't have to raise your hand, but if there's anybody else in the room that can relate to that story, either nod or, give me a look. And people all over the room raise their hands. And that demonstration to me was to let them know that sometimes you may think that you're alone, but your story is so similar to other people. And once you get out and once you are free, those people, those hands that you see up, you're going to help them also overcome.
Yes.
So
we overcome by the words of our testimony.
That's right. The blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
And the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So that is, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm over getting a little emotional. It's so good to hear. So, I guess you shared with me, but what was your most favorable, what was your favorite moment there?
Oh, there were so
while you were
many.
there? I can see or tell.
There were so many moments. I would say the moment, definitely the washing of the feet and just talking to different people about their purposes in life. There was an experience during the same time that people's feet were being washed. There were 3 people that came up to me that were in my class, and one of them was like, I know what I want to do, but I feel afraid to do it because I just don't think that I'm afraid of rejection. And I was like, well, what is it that you want to do? And she was like, I want to model. I want to be a model. I want to be in fashion. And I was just like, you can. I was like, and I gave her step by step what she needed to do. And her eyes lit up because before that, she had no plan. There were other people, well, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And I was able literally to give them a plan on what to do. And they walked away so much, I don't know, it was like they walked away like believing that they could, whereas before they didn't believe that they could. So like that to me was a beautiful exchange, because it's like everybody wants to feel like there's somebody and that they have something on the inside of them that they can do, but they just don't know how to get it. And so to me, I'm getting emotional because you want people to excel, and you want people, I don't care what part of the world you're in, to realize their dream and go for it. So I would say that was probably the most powerful moment to me, is to see someone's light bulb go off. I can do this.
You can. And the thing is, once you have it in your mind and really realize that you can do this, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You can make it, and you can be great with what you have. With what you have. You don't have to be anybody else but yourself. And that's what matters. I as you know, I always go around and I always say everyone is beautiful, because we are fearfully and we are wonderfully made, and everyone is beautiful. Oh, that's
yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was.
So that was a part of the conference, but then we had some free moments too.
Okay, tell me about those.
The free moments. Okay, so we had about a day and a half where we were able to just go out and just enjoy. So we went on a safari the first day, and the first day the safari was really cool. We were able to see the big 5, and that was we got to see 4 of the big 5. So basically giraffes, lions, rhinoceroses.
Wow.
I believe cheetah was one of the ones. I can't remember all of them, but we were able to see all of these animals. And no, in Africa, they're not roaming free. A lot of these, a lot of them.
Because I'll probably be under the truck somewhere.
A lot of them are in like these preserves. So it's a vast amount of land. So it's not like that they're, just in this little fenced in place. It's not. It's huge. It's like acres and acres and acres and acres and acres of land, and they're fenced in this. and the safari that we were on, literally they hunt there. Like,
wow.
so they, you know, this free game. You zebra out there and lion out there. Good luck, zebra. You know, you might be lunch. You might be dinner.
My eyes got like huge. Poor zebra.
We didn't see any of that, but we did see a pride of lions, and it was about 5 male tigers in that pride, and which is rare. Which is rare. You never really see more than one male lion in a pride, but I got schooled that day. I was told that you actually can't. So, and then it was the females, and then the cubs. But so I got a bunch of the pictures of that, and then I got to see white rhinos. Oh my God, I was able to see white rhinos. I thought white rhinos were extinct, but they're not. There are some that are still around, especially on this preserve.
So were you able to like get close?
Yeah, we were
to
close.
them?
They were like close.
Wow.
We were in a like a truck type of apparatus, this thing. So we, you know, of course they can't like get in it, but it was close enough where they were crossing in front of the truck and behind the truck. So like they were all around us. If they wanted to, they could like jump on top of it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was crazy.
But they wasn't violent at all. They wasn't.
No. Wait a minute, did you say violent?
Violent. Oh God. Because I would be all over the place. I'll probably be in your lap and everybody just jumping all over.
No, they weren't violent. We didn't get to experience any violence. No, everybody walked away with all their limbs.
Good.
And everything. No animals were hurt. It was nothing. Yeah.
Good. So you went over.
Yeah.
You went over there and you poured out so much, and you've learned so much.
Yes.
So tell me, what is it that you learned about yourself?
Myself.
What is it that you learned from the trip, and if you was to have the opportunity to go back, would you?
What did I learn? I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I'm not as grateful as I thought that I was. So I thought I try to live a life of gratitude. When you go over there, and it was nothing for them to celebrate someone for doing the smallest of act. Something that a normal person wouldn't be that grateful for. Like it was, I can't think of something small right now, but they were extremely grateful. And I was just like, I need to make sure that, you know, not just when the time is right to be grateful, but always. So I learned that. I felt like that there was such a great exchange, especially when it came to that, like just their gratitude, like the culture and the anointing that was there. Like I traded what I had for that. It was such a beautiful exchange. What it reminded me a lot of is the South. You know, a lot of people who are Southern. My husband is from Louisiana, and we go down there, and a lot of the traditions I can tell came from their African heritage, their just the way that they did different things. And I don't want to go into detail about that, but it was pretty impressive. I mean, a beautiful place, and I would go again and again and again and again and again and again, and I would urge other people to go too, just to experience it, because when you touch down on the land, it's like you're home. Yeah. Literally, the birthplace of humanity. I was there, and I feel like everybody should experience that.
Wow. I know how you were saying that the things that sometimes we don't find it to be grateful for, that they are. I remember talking to someone else who went over there, and they had said, you know, how we be like, oh, I just got $1, you know, that's nothing, but to them, $1 is like, oh my God,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because the currency exchange is
I was just gonna say, how was that?
I can't. I had Google with me all the time. I was like, how much is this? Because it would say something like 65 rand, and so I would have to do like a converter. Like, what is 65 rand? Which it came up to like $4 or $2 or something like that. But I had always had to keep that out. And speaking of that, we went to the Nelson Mandela home, which is that was a powerful experience. We went there, and you could see like the bullet holes and different things like that on the house, and we could see how small his house was. He was like over 6 feet tall. Did you know that? He was a very tall man. Wow. But saying all of that, outside of there were people that as soon as you got out of the car, they were like, welcome to South Africa, like trying to get like, you know, money or whatever. And I was so overwhelmed. Like, Yeah, I'm sorry. If I just need to get in here,
Right.
I'll be
I
back.
just need to. I'm with this book right over here.
It was very, they were very, it was very. That part was also humbling because they're literally people that are trying to scrape up to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, there were beautiful parts of South Africa that were developed, Johannesburg, that were developed. Metropolitan city it is, but then there are also places and people that are in poverty, and that's all over the world. Doesn't matter where you go. So, yeah.
Well, I'm so happy that I was able to interview you. You have enlightened me on so much, and I'm so happy that you were over there to share your purpose and to help people discover their purpose and to learn new things. And I'm sure there's still a lot more, and I would love to see pictures and things like that. I do know that you have some special shout outs.
Yes, I do. So if there are people on here, I just want to say thank you to everybody that enabled me to go, that helped fund this trip. I'm sorry. Johnny is about to fall out of his chair.
God.
We're not supposed to be rocking this table, Johnny. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to some people that helped get me there. I didn't get to get here on my own. There were people that actually helped me fund the trip. So I just want to shout these people out really quickly. My aunt Beverly Pegues, who's also, she's a missionary. She's been to multiple countries. Kelly Gillard, Debbie Harris, Felicia Cawley, Angela Yowzy, Christy Wasson, Fabi, Tara Stewart, Miriam, Tanya Graham, Sandy Burkett, Atesha Cohen, Cheryl Houston, Ayana, Scott, Jennifer Patton, Dane Clark, Oksana, Kelly Hall, Joelle, Dave White, Whitney Richardson, Janelle Crockett Perkins, Sandy, Kenneth Wilder, Joseph and Marisha, Shara and John, and my brothers, Michael Austin and Tori Austin. Every person that put a dime or any money towards me being able to have this experience, thank you so much. I don't take it lightly. Also, Ashley Stentz and Jake Stentz, she did a lot of running around for me the day before I was to go because I didn't have the energy to do it. So I just want to say thank you to every person that allowed me to have this opportunity. I've literally come back changed. And what I believe as a believer is when you sow seed into good ground,
absolutely,
you will reap the harvest. So everything that I have experienced, I believe and speak over your life that God will give it back to you 100-fold, pressed down, shaking together, and running over, shall men pour into your bosom because you poured into me. And so I speak that over your life, that there's nothing missing and nothing broken. And I speak wholeness and healing over your bodies and over your minds. Okay?
Amen.
So I like to end with prayer. I think we're shutting it down. I hear the music. How much time do I have?
Yeah,
1 minute.
1 minute.
So I'm just going to say bye, guys. I love you and thanks for tuning in. Check out my pictures on Facebook. Bye.